So my mom has always fancied herself an organizational guru, the kind who binge-watches Marie Kondo and then tries to fold our socks with joy. Last weekend, she decided our family needed a system because apparently, living with 3 teenagers and a dad who still can't find the ketchup in the fridge isn't chaotic enough. She appeared in the living room with a stack of color-coded bins, a label maker, and the wild eyes of someone who just discovered there are exactly 27 ways to store a spatula. The bins were all labeled things like essentials, non-essentials, miscellaneous, and miscellaneous, but more important. At first, we played along, sorting our things, debating whether Dad's lucky socks counted as essential or if Mom's 2007 PTA ribbons were sentimental or miscellaneous but more important. But soon, things started getting weird. The label maker became the real star of the show. Everything got a label, the remote was labeled remote, the dog's bowl said dog food vessel, and my little brother's forehead bore a sticky note reading middle child, handle with care. My dad, ever the rebel, labeled his coffee mug teacup, don't tell, and snickered at his own subversiveness. The chaos peaked when Mom labeled the label maker itself, slapping on a bright pink sticker that read label maker. Then, just to be thorough, she labeled the label on the label maker, label on label maker, and then, for good measure, labeled that label meta. By the end of the afternoon, our house looked like Office Depot had exploded and the only survivors were sticky notes and existential questions. We'd reached the point where the bin labeled miscellaneous was inside another bin labeled meta miscellaneous, which was, naturally, inside the bin labeled too much. After we stared at the nesting bins, the recursive labels, and the dog eating a sticky note that said not food, we all just sort of sat down and admitted defeat. Mom tried to give a motivational speech about order in the universe, but by then, we'd all agreed it was easier to just live in organized chaos. Because honestly, when the label maker needs a label to explain its label, you know it's time to bin the system.